Hey, you like my hair? I don't. So, if you can't tell by the title, I'm gonna do my first movie review. Yeah, that's it. I'm doing it. You don't like it? Yep, doing my first movie review. Saw the Suicide Squad yesterday. You know what? I gotta tell you something about that movie. It was absolutely, it was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. My girlfriend enjoyed it. We laughed. We cried. We didn't cry. But we enjoyed the movie. I don't understand when people are hating it. There's some things in it I didn't like. But that's every movie, people. Some of the greatest movies ever made, you're not going to like some things. But if you sat there and enjoyed it, then you enjoyed it. So I'm just going to talk about the things I enjoyed about the movie. I'm going to talk about things I didn't enjoy about the movie. And then I'm going to touch briefly on some of the things that the critics are saying about the movie that I don't understand why they're being so critical of it. But hey, here's a disclaimer. There's 2 disclaimers in this video. 1, spoilers. Obviously, I'm going to be talking about the movie. I'm going to tell you what I like. I'm going to tell you what I didn't like. 2, I think I just spit on my camera. 3, if you don't agree with what I'm about to say, you don't agree with what I'm about to say. There's something that each human in this world has that no one can change. It's their opinion. Look, call me a DC fanboy, okay? I got Batman friggin' Batarang tattooed on my sleeve. I love DC, but I also do love Marvel. There's Wolverine, there's the Punisher, there's all the X-Men. I enjoy comics in general. So don't go commenting, DC fanboy, that's... No. Okay? Just stop and enjoy. No fighting, no bickering. I don't want to see the comment section get all blown up with people calling each other names because some people liked it, some people didn't. If they liked it, good, let them like it. If you didn't like it, good, let them not like it. I don't care. The movie's already made over $100 million. They're going to keep making movies. I enjoyed it. Here we go. Suicide Squad review. Let's start with the things I didn't like. How about that? Because actually, that list is kind of short. Things I didn't like about the movie. One thing I didn't like, and I couldn't get past it, was Killer Croc. It's too small, in my opinion. Other people might think he was perfect. He was a more realistic version of Killer Croc. This is the Killer Croc I know. I like the big Killer Croc, the one that towered over Batman, the one that made Batman really have to think about how is he going to go at this guy because he's this huge crocodile man person. I like the big Killer Croc, not the gangster, short, muscular Killer Croc. Did not like the Killer Croc. Couldn't get past it. Whenever he came on screen, I was like, he's throwing people with like this brute strength, but he's about the size of Deadshot. Maybe I think he was a little shorter than Deadshot. That bothered the crap out of me. Some people said they didn't like how like it changed a lot. I can see where they're coming from. It didn't. I didn't love it, but it didn't bother me. I'll get more into that in the likes. I'm telling you, there's not much I didn't like about the movie. A lot of people didn't like that Enchantress was the main villain. People didn't like that. What is she doing? Like at the end of the movie. I'm gonna get more into that later because there's a critic who says there's no plot in this movie, and I don't understand where he's coming from because I'm gonna explain the plot in this movie. You know what? I'll just do it now. Plot in this movie. Okay? This is the main point of the Suicide Squad. If you don't know who the Suicide Squad is, essentially it's a bunch of villains and they're caught by Amanda Waller and they get injections into their neck that if they don't do what Amanda Waller says, if out on their missions they run rogue or they do whatever the hell they want, she can literally blow their head up. If you couldn't tell from Slipknot. Rest in peace. So essentially, the Suicide Squad is formed in this movie, not in the comic book universe, but in this movie. Suicide Squad is formed just in case a big bad comes that's like Superman. So they essentially said, what if Superman came, ripped off the top of the White House and wanted to take the president? They needed something to stop that. So essentially, she starts picking out these villains, these metahumans, and she gets the Enchantress, which is this witch. She owns her heart. And when you own her heart, you can essentially kill her. And the heart was like this like green, like heart looking dust thing. But when you own her heart, you essentially own her because you can kill her. That's the only way you can kill the Enchantress, is by her heart. And essentially making Enchantress do all her dirty work. You know, go get this, go do that, calling her when she wants, telling her to do this stuff. Enchantress was a god. Her and her brother were gods that the human race bowed to and worshipped. So you can just imagine now Enchantress is this Amanda Waller's little bitch. She's going to start getting pissed off about it. So essentially what she does is she goes, she resurrects her brother. Her and her brother are like, listen, these humans don't worship us anymore. Enchantress literally is like, she's treating me like shit, bro. We gotta do something about it. And essentially she says the human race worships machines, which we do. And she's sick of it. So she's going to build this big ass machine with her fucking Enchantress powers, and she's going to destroy the human race. That's the plot of the movie! Suicide Squad. Enchantress went rogue. She's sick of our shit. She's trying to wipe out the human race. Help us out. Plot. Plot. That's what the movie's about. But then inside the movie, you get these little things where you're learning about each of the characters. Yeah, in the beginning of the movie, you start to see, like, they literally introduce, like, Deadshot. All his stuff pops up, who he is, what he does, blah, blah, blah. Harley Quinn, blah, 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 boom. Captain Boomerang, blah, 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 boom. You know, they introduce him. But as the movie goes on and on, you start to really learn who these characters are. Because as the movie goes on, they have to make choices. Can they run and go? Are they going to stay and fight? Are they going to let someone die? And then you start to see character development. This is why I don't understand why people are being so like critical and hating this movie. Am I the only one who... I might be the only one. I might be just loving the movie too much. And people might be like, Doug, what are you seeing? I don't see it. But that's what I saw. Character development. But anyway, that was the plot. I'm not going to tell you what happened. I think I spoiled the movie enough, but you're But anyway, now I'm gonna get to my likes. Here we go. First thing I liked, the soundtrack. The soundtrack to this movie was friggin' great. Yeah, sometimes the music would change sporadically. It seemed like there's like a music started, you're like, ooh, this song, and then boom, they would change it again. That kind of bothered me, but I love the soundtrack. It's probably right up there with Guardians of the Galaxy. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of hate for saying that, but the soundtrack is Number 2, and I know everyone loved it, and I loved him, Captain Boomerang, hilarious. The fact that one of his like fetishes, or one of the things he loves the most, is pink unicorns. Fucking love Captain Boomerang. And every chance he got to run, he ran. But then he came back. And then he's drinking a beer, and it's just Captain Boomerang. Next thing I liked, but this is kind of like a love-hate, is Harley and the Joker. I did like Harley and the Joker. I did not like Harley Quinn the more I started watching it, because she kept slipping into Wolf on Wall Street, Staten Island, Jersey-ish accent, which I understand Harley does have something like that, but it started bothering me because I'm like, Wolf on Wall Street. Every time she would slip into it, I'm like, there it is again. The Joker, he's not the best Joker, obviously. But people have to understand this. Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, and now Jared Leto had their own different types of Jokers. So, you know, Heath Ledger wasn't like, I want to be like Jack Nicholson, let me, you know, talk like him, let me be like that Joker. Jared Leto wasn't like, I want to be like, he was like, listen, I'm the gangster Joker, I'm the mob boss Joker, he's a different Joker. Was it great? No. Was it bad? No. It was... every time he came on screen, I was like, oh, here's this freaking guy again. I enjoyed it. They showed you exactly how Harley becomes Harley. They don't go full in force on it, but they show the love between the Joker and Harley. They even have a quick brief shot of the Alex Ross painting, which I'll put right here. It's good, but I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. So that's like in the middle, so I threw that in the like section. If you don't like it, suck my ass! I like Deadshot. Deadshot was good. I liked his character development. I love how they really showed his love for his daughter, how he would do anything for his daughter. His character development was good. A lot of people said that maybe he should have had his own movie. A lot of people say that in general all these characters being jammed into one movie is too much, and maybe, but hey, it is what it is. It's made. Just look at it for what it is and enjoy it. The next thing I liked in this movie was how they went from humor to seriousness to humor to seriousness. A lot of people hated that. They thought it was too, like, pick one thing. Why is it going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth? I liked it. My favorite scene in the whole movie, I have two of my favorite scenes. I'm going to talk about this one, and then the next one's my next like. First favorite scene in this movie is where they're in the bar, and Diablo's talking about why he doesn't use his powers, why he's not who he is anymore, and that's how he is in the comic. He's very remorseful, he's very, like, against violence because of what he did. And Harley tells him, you know, own that shit, she says to him. Like, she gets super serious, they're all getting super serious. Captain Boomerang says to Harley, who's like the jokester of the whole group, says to her, like, you're so pretty on the outside, but goddamn, you're ugly on the inside. And it's like you're like, damn, you know, that's deep. But then they instantly turn into a joke because she looks at Killer Croc and says, but he's ugly on the outside all the time, and he says, I'm beautiful. I liked how it went back and forth. It didn't keep it serious the whole time, but it did touch on things, and it made you feel a certain way, and I liked it. It was a roller coaster ride, and I like movies like that. The next and probably the final thing I liked, there's more, but I'm not going to bore the shit out of you. I like this movie, obviously. Was the end where Enchantress got into each of the characters' heads and showed them what they wanted. I love that because you got to see Harley and you got to see the Joker. And when Jared Leto was in that, like, daydream scene, it instantly reminded me of American Psycho when he was in that movie. But then all of a sudden Diablo's like, look, this is a dream, get out of your head, this is a dream. And then he said, listen, you guys want to see what I can really do? And he releases Diablo. Essentially, he has a demon inside of him that is like a fire demon. And when he fights Enchantress's brother and he releases Diablo and he's just like, come at me, bitch. I might be, no one else might have felt this way, but I literally got chills. I was like, that's badass. He's this big fire demon going against her brother. Yeah, her brother looked really CGI and shitty. I get that. I can look past that because the other things to me were good. And that Diablo and, I don't even remember what her brother's name was. That's how forgettable the character was. That fight was good. When he, like, shows who he is, that was really good. I enjoyed the crap out of that. Okay, so now I'm going to touch on, this is the last little bit. I'm going to touch on things that essentially people critiqued it on, and I don't understand why they critiqued it. So I'm going to say what the person says, and then I'm going to say my rebuttal. Again, this is just my opinion. They have their opinions, but I don't understand where they're coming from, essentially, is what I'm saying. First thing I noticed, and a lot of people were saying this, is people thought that the plot of the movie from the trailers, is what they're saying, is that it's the Joker versus the Suicide Squad. And I don't understand where they're coming from, because in the trailers, from every trailer I saw, they're fighting these things that when Harley hit him with the bat or when someone shot him, their head like exploded like they were made out of concrete. And then there's a scene, in every trailer I've seen, there was a scene where this thing is ripping through a subway train. How is that incorporated with the Joker? The fact that people thought it was the Joker versus Suicide Squad made no sense unless you watched, like, the trailer without that stuff, which I don't think there was one. It just made no sense to me that you would think that. That's where I'm coming from. Maybe I missed something. Hey, if I missed something and you thought that way, please comment below. I'll comment and we can have a little chit chat. But that's where I'm coming from. The last thing I'll touch on, and this always makes me laugh, is that Rotten Tomatoes, DC fans, or as you guys like to call them, DC fanboys, hate Rotten Tomatoes. Me, I don't even, like, if someone's like, oh, Rotten Tomatoes gave it like a 23, or oh, Rotten Tomatoes gave it this, it's your opinion, people. What Rotten Tomatoes does is they take a consensus of reviews and then they essentially average it, and then there you go, because there's the critics reviews and then there's the fan reviews. For this movie, at the time I'm making this video, I think Suicide Squad got around a 30, but the fan reviews gave it a 73% or somewhere up there. You see the difference. I'm a fan. I'm not a movie critic. Yes, I went to school for film. Yes, I make my own stuff, but I'm not a critic. I'm a fan. And Rotten Tomatoes is Rotten Tomatoes. I give Rotten Tomatoes zero credibility when it comes to movie reviews because it gave Sharknado a 93%. And that's not fan reviews. That's like critic reviews. And if you're giving Sharknado, a sci-fi original movie, a 93%, you have no credibility with me, because that movie, I watched the ass end of that movie, the last 15 minutes of the movie, and I don't want to watch it ever again. I'd rather put hot glue on my eyes. So, but that's my opinion. You might have liked Sharknado 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you did, more power to you. Maybe you'll like my movies when I start creating them. I just finished the first script. Maybe you'll like my stuff. Hopefully you do. But yeah, that's my first movie review on Suicide Squad. I probably missed on a bunch of things that you liked. Or I probably missed on a bunch of things you hated. If that's the case, there's a comment section below my video for a reason. Tippity type it up. Let me know what I missed, you liked, that you hated. Again, don't be a jerk. Alright, guys? Don't be jerks. Be nice to each other. We're all a comic book community. Alright? Whether you're Marvel, whether you're DC, whether you're both, whether you're... There's other comics out there that's just not Marvel, DC. There's manga, there's... Look, just enjoy it. Don't be mean, okay? People can have differences of opinions. Don't be mean. Don't be nasty. Just enjoy what you enjoy. I don't like chocolate. People think I'm out of my goddamn mind because I don't like chocolate. Hey, I don't like it. So what? You don't like this movie? More power to you. If you were standing here and told me you didn't like the movie, I'd say, okay, I did. Here's my reasons. Here's your reason you didn't. Okay. Alright, guys. Be nice to each other. And I will see you real soon. And maybe I'll do another movie review. Give it a thumbs up. If I get a lot of thumbs up and get a lot of comments below, I'll do another movie review. Alright? Wonder Woman's coming out soon. It's going to be good. Doctor Strange is coming out soon. So I'll got movies coming out. I'll do movie reviews. Alright? 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 What is that in the woods? I think that's a wild Isaac Dana. I think we caught him in his natural environment. Watch the majestic animal trot through his natural environment. He sees a prey. Oh, he's pulling.